I mean, Frank wanted to be involved in every play. Every time the ball hit the bat on defense, he wanted to be in the play, and every time we were on offense, he wanted to be swinging the bat. He never wanted to not be involved in what was going on.
Well, he was a prolific hitter, high batting average. I couldn't tell you exactly what it was, but he was a power hitter, and he, you know, I wouldn't say I remember one particular home run. I just remember many, and he was a threat to hit him up in the kind of midway up those pines out there, and I know he hit one or two in that oak tree right there. He was just a big hitter. Yeah.
He could hit it beyond the fence and it was still soaring. I think he did have a shot or two, I remember, in the creek beyond the fence.
He was big. I wouldn't say he just towered over everybody. It had to do with his strength and power. He was a big kid. He was strong. You knew he was going to be big and he was going to dominate things, but he was also a kid. I mean, he had fun. He was focused, but he had his moments where I think he was a little bit bored, considering he knew where the talent level was, where, you know, that he was operating in, and I think there were times when he got a little bit bored and we had to kind of channel him to keep him focused.
Frank knew the game better than anybody who played the game. Like, he just understood baseball better than any of us did. So he was scheduled to pitch in a game that we had coming up, and someone had either forgotten or intentionally left the pitch counts and pitch stats, box stats for the team we were getting ready to play next. We were like, Frank, look where they just left. He was like, that's not real. They're just doing that to throw us off. I mean, he was that deep into the game at 12 years old.
I liked him pitching. I knew we were in great shape when he pitched. Had two pitchers. Had Jay Maley, who threw a tremendous curveball, and I'd throw him for the first 3 innings, and I'd bring Frank Thomas in, who had the fastball, and it was an intimidating fastball, and it worked so well in Little League. And Frank used to say to me, Coach, let me throw a curve. And when we were warming up, I'd catch him and let him throw me a couple of curves, and then I'd say, Frank, just throw the fastball. It works every time. And I'd notice when he got a little bored out there, he'd slip a curve here and there. Here, I would pick him up after work and bring him here, and then his dad would show up for the games and many practices. But his dad was very supportive, loved him very much, and so did his mom. And I think that was a real rock for him. And then I would also credit coaches on down the line like Bobby Howard, who really kept him focused and kept his head in the game, and I think it all paid off in a big way for him.
Big Frank loved Frank. I mean, he loved him now. That meant that he kept up with him. I mean, there wasn't a game, I can't remember a game we played where he wasn't out here somewhere watching. I can't remember being in school where Big Frank wasn't, you know, asking about homework, going to see what's going on with teachers. I mean, he was an actively involved parent. He was not one that sat on the sidelines because he wanted the best for his sons.
I think we can safely say that the best player to come out of Peach Little League or Columbus, Georgia, or I won't say the state of Georgia maybe, but definitely Columbus, Georgia would be Frank Thomas. No question.